All right, cool. We all live. What's good, y'all? Episode 5 of Off the Rip. It's been a little minute since we here went ahead and did another episode. We got the homie, the biggest of homies. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
The dead beatest of homies, Federal Ranger.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
That's how much I give a fuck.
I hate this dude, dog.
No one keeps it realer than me.
We got our dark skinned plumber right up there.
Yo, you boy, dark skin moth, man. I'm in the building, man. Y'all know how it's doing, man. We about to talk about this South Power shit, man. Y'all know. I really don't
This
much
nigga
about
got
it.
the brand new camera. Let's get it.
Hey,
you know why?
yeah, brand new $100 camera.
Crisp.
Yeah, y'all go get y'all Logitech, motherfucking
Logitech. Yeah, they got a good camera. They got a good camera.
Yeah, that's the boy cam I got, but I think I don't know, I misplaced it.
Came with a little
We
fan and
also have
everything.
the intellect over here to my left.
Yeah, the so-called beige, even though I'm the same skin tone as
Nah, nigga, you not, bro.
Whatever.
Fuck out of here, B. Like, we are not the same.
Okay, I'm darker than that. I'm darker than that leg, bro. What?
Listen, I don't wear shorts. Bossy, have you ever seen me wear shorts, bro? Maybe like
This nigga never
3
wear
times
shorts.
in like 10 years.
Bro,
I
never
hate
wear
shorts. And I wear long socks, bro. Like, I don't play no games.
We gotta go on proving that. We gotta get on camera. We gotta go on and say who the babies of them all, man. Come on, we gotta go on.
I will lose because he is the bitch. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. I told y'all. Fuck wrong with y'all,
It's the
bro.
lighting, bro. It's the
Stop
lighting.
it.
Oh,
This nigga
man.
tried. Nigga, I'm in pure white light right now. Fuck this nigga talking about, bro. This nigga lying. This nigga lying, bro. This nigga full of shit.
All
Fuck you,
right,
Wad, man.
let's move on, y'all. Let's move on before this turns into a roasting session of over.
This
over
nigga literally ruined the contrast of the live by going on the screen for 2 seconds. Fuck this nigga, dude. I'm gonna call you negative intellect because you look like the fucking font on Windows 95 when you reverse
Alright,
the
y'all.
colors and shit. And
Look
don't
up the
forget our
Sun
boy.
people of South Africa. That's Fed's cousin, bro.
Oh my god.
Same hair, the same type of hair. Need a brush.
That might be cool, but it will not take away from the fact that you look like a missing member of Nappy Roots that's saying, "Oh no, hell no, boy, y'all done up and done the fuck out of here."
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Before this turns into a roast session, let's actually go ahead and have a discussion. All right, y'all. So tonight we're talking about soft power. Let's go ahead and get like a little definition of what soft power actually is. Hard power is what you do when you can convince everybody of your positions, and you can basically soft power and hard power are things that nations do between each other. Hard power is basically what the United States has. We have the biggest military on the planet, with the biggest navy on the planet. Therefore, we can go ahead and control like what other people do. If America wanted to go to, let's say, Australia right now and be like, "You're gonna drop all your tariffs, bitch," we can do that. You feel me? Because we have the largest military in the world. Because we could surround our whole island with the navy. You feel me?
Not to mention the fact that our military has more nuclear weapons than 25 countries combined, 24 of which of them are our fucking allies, if that doesn't put it in perspective for you.
Exactly. That's hard power. Right now, China is building a lot of hard power. They're building a lot of soft power as well, but they're building a lot of hard power because they are a threat to Taiwan. They're a threat to Japan. Well, they're not really a threat to Japan because we're there, but if we weren't Japan's ally, they'll be a threat to Japan. You feel me? They can put them under their sphere of influence. That's what you call hard power. Soft power, nigga. What are you doing?
Oh, you know what it is? I got to eat something.
This is a horrible show. Anyway, soft power is something of like we can say what South Korea does. South Korea, if you haven't noticed, has a huge cultural market right now with K-pop. What K-pop actually does, K-pop, what a lot of people don't know, is actually funded by the South Korean government. What they do is that they send their music out into the world, and they make everybody a fan of the music, and by through the music, their culture of Korea gets exported. If you notice a lot of people on the West Coast, especially young black women on the West Coast, they're into a lot of K-pop. And while I was over there in California, I saw a lot of young black women really into Asian men, specifically Korean men. Over here in America as well, over on this side of Florida, a lot of young people in high school are into K-pop. They don't know what the hell they saying, but they're really into it. You feel me?
I noticed that too in high school. A lot of white girls, and then later on, black girls. Like I guess it caught on a little bit later on, probably around like 2016, 17, when a lot of black girls and black women started getting interested in K-pop.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So they're really, really into it. So it exports the culture and it makes the people there a lot more attractive. Now the question is for tonight's discussion, do black people specifically I'm sorry, I'm tired, y'all. Specifically, does American black culture an example of soft power? I would say it is, because not just the black culture in America, but black culture worldwide does have soft power. We just don't utilize it in the right way. A big example I could give of that are two music genres that exported all around the world, and the culture of Black America, or black people, the black diaspora, is now all around the world as well. The two genres I'm talking about is hip hop and Afro pop. Hip hop definitely changed the world if you think about it. You feel me? A lot of people, a lot of the language that we use nowadays, linguists have actually said this. Like professional linguists have said that a lot of slang terms that are now in general American English came out of hip hop. A lot of the fashion that kids wear nowadays, and even throughout the 90s, came from hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? And if you look at Afro pop, the way it's being explored today, especially the major hit, Jerusalem. Yeah, heard that song. Hey, la 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 la, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Y'all heard that song before?
Nah,
you
I have.
You heard
I know
that
song. Nah, you can't make me know that song. Nah, I know the song, Joanna. Joe, I know that.
Yeah, that's it too. But you heard Jerusalem before, my nigga. I'm put it on right now. You heard it. Trust me. But
yeah, play it.
It's all over. Hold on. I'm playing it right now.
I'm gonna bet you my cryptocurrency I ain't
playing. Hold on. There's a commercial playing right now. But you niggas have heard it before. Trust me. Hold on. I'm playing it right now. Listen. Yeah, hear that?
I'm gonna wait till they start rapping. I'm not rapping, but singing.
Mac, who are these niggas?
Nah, bro, I don't know this at all.
Y'all niggas haven't heard that song?
Bro, no. You 3 for 3. We don't know these niggas,
Yeah. Nah, bro, I don't. Nah, I'm gonna be real. I listen to a little bit of African music, but is that Nigerian? What is that?
It's South African.
Oh, I probably most of the African music I listen to is mostly from like Nigeria. And I only listen to a little bit of that, so no, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, man. So, well, that song is huge. Basically, it really is. All right, I don't believe me, but it's huge. But basically, Afro pop and hip hop especially, I would say, literally changed the world, and it changed language. You feel me? A lot of the mannerisms that people pick up, especially within the past 2 or 3 generations, came from hip hop. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I believe that that's just one aspect of our culture that I believe that got exported around the world. But I do believe that black people do have a very powerful soft power. We just don't utilize it in a way where it'll be monetarily beneficial to us. And I want to know what you guys think about that.
Personally, I want to know what is the soft power that you speak of. Like you said, it's just like hip hop and Afro pop.
Yeah, like what is it that we're supposed to be using? Because personally, me, I don't even know if we actually have the soft power, because black people are still viewed like we're not viewed favorably around the world. The black people that are viewed positively are mostly just celebrities, and those are outliers. Oprah Winfrey, when she went to Sweden, she was still racially profiled, and people assumed that she was broke when she was trying to buy like something from an expensive clothing or accessory store. So I don't know, man. The soft power, I don't know if it's really positively affected how people view us around the world, man. Well, and like I don't even know if we can impose any kind of like impose any punishments for people who are doing that, nor can we really impose like really utilize this power that we have if we have it.
When I use the music genres, those are just examples of what I'm talking about. for example, there's no doubt to anybody that the music of that black people that came out of America, there's no doubt. I mean, one thing I've always said is that American music is basically black music. You feel me? What is the music of America? Jazz, rock and roll, and hip hop. Those are the biggest music genres that came out of America, and and those music genres have influenced every other music genre around it, especially pop music. You feel me? Like if you listen to like Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, a lot of the shit that we was listening to, a lot of that was inspired by disco and jazz and hip hop itself. You feel what I'm saying? And all that is black music. To the truth, even disco is black music. A lot of people don't realize that disco itself is black music. You feel me? So when I use music as an example, what I'm saying is that all around the world, it got exported all around the world, and people imitated that. One thing that we know is that black folks are imitated a lot around the world. You feel me? Even though it hasn't changed the perceptions of black folks, which I believe is a shame. It does go into representation in the media, which I agree with that. But the fact that our culture is so consumable, that shows a certain power that our culture has. You feel me? We just haven't utilized it in the correct way. I think that's why everybody's getting confused about how do we have soft power if we haven't utilized it yet. We do have it because it's so consumable, but we haven't actually put our fingers around it and make them utilize it in the correct way.
That's almost like saying imitation is an expression of soft power.
Well, kind of.
Imitation can be, yes. Imitation, yes. It's an example of soft power because, like, there's like for example, who is let me ask this right now. Who is the greatest martial arts actor? Boom.
Nigga, Michael John White. Fuck out of here.
No, I mean
we could make a debate on that, but
today, but not all time, Bruce Lee.
Exactly, but when I said
Michael John White would fuck Bruce Lee up. Go ahead.
I know, but when I said that's not the point. That's not the point.
Best fighter.
Exactly, that's not the point. The moment I mentioned martial arts, we automatically thought about Bruce Lee. If we didn't think about Bruce Lee, you thought about Jackie Chan, you thought about Jet Li. You feel me? Yeah. Why? Because that type of art form is so imitatable. That type of art form is so like influential. Almost every single movie now uses kung wire fu. You feel what I'm saying? It uses choreography that those kung fu artists had used. You feel me? That was the beginnings of soft power. Now you have to remember that around that time, Asian men still were not viewed very favorably around that time that Bruce Lee was out. You feel me? It's around this time now, about 30 years later, that Asians are viewed as more in a more positive light. You feel
it's still it's still kind of bad. I don't know. It may have helped a little bit, but even now, it's still a poor perception of Asians.
If we're using that example, then in that case, this is where Vosi could kind of make, can advocate for black people having soft power, because when we think of Chinese people, Asians in general, we think of small, quick mathematicians, all the regular stereotypes, most people do, until Yao Ming came over and started playing a relatively black sport, and then made that sport grow big as fucking China. But he had to come over here and get popping in a black sport created by a white man so our soft power in that regard help bring something that's relatively obvious at this point over to a whole nother place to have them view us favorably, but make us look at Chinese, Asian people in general differently. Because now we see them playing baseball, basketball. They're not small. They can grow tall as fuck. They can be strong. They don't have to be, like little meek ass bad drivers and shit. When you see, for every thin ass Bruce Lee, you might see a Bolo Young. Y'all remember Bolo Young from fucking from
Into the Dragon?
No, the one he did was Bloodsport. Y'all remember Bolo Young from Bloodsport? The big swole nigga. When he was fighting Van Damme in the 80s, that nigga was already in his fucking 40s.
He was honestly very intimidating when as a kid. I was like, dang, he looks strong.
Like that shit was crazy. So you go from that, then seeing somebody tower over arguably the most dominant big man in fucking basketball that can make Shaq look short. It's like your perception is easily changed with small things. Now, this is why I say, based off what you're describing to me, that our soft power may not, while we don't have soft power, because when you think about, something that's imitatable, but since it's easily copied, it doesn't necessarily bear influence. And I would say this: when you think about South Korea and the things that they have over there, their industries, of course, the giant that is Samsung in South Korea, and you go, damn, one out of maybe like every 5 people is probably holding one of their products, whether it be a phone, a tablet, a Chromebook, a fucking giant OLED television, or some shit like that, a webcam, a charger pack or something, or even the batteries that fuel like hybrid cars and shit. That's influence that doesn't have to be threatening. That's real soft power, knowing that, if we wanted to, we could fuck shit up by just taking this away. If you remove hip hop and Afro pop lifestyles and the shit that people like about the way we talk and shit from the world, does it stop moving? Absolutely not.
But you see that.
Well, wait. You said take away the batteries. Hold on. If you said take away the economics,
I'm talking about as far as like the things that we have that are influential. I don't even say influential. The things that we have that people like about Black culture. If we take that away, cool. But if we take away that, but using that definition, if you take away the things that people like and like to imitate or steal from Black culture, let's say it never existed. There'd be a lot of things that we don't have without Black people. Obviously, that goes without saying. But if that shit were to stop right now, would the world stop fucking spinning? No.
Well, I know you said something about what the Chinese had. What you said something about the things they manufacture. If they were to stop that, that actually wouldn't be soft power. That would actually be a form of hard power, because that's economic.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't necessarily have to make the world stop moving. You feel me? Like if South Korea stopped giving us their batteries, then that'll mess up a lot of people. But that's a form of hard power. You feel me? If they stop funding Afro pop, I mean, not Afro pop. If K-pop stops being popular around the world, does the world stop moving? No, of course not. But the fact that
but how would that be unfavorable for Korea?
It wouldn't be unfavorable, but that's not what soft power is. Soft power is not using your your might, or it's not using force. It's influencing people through other means. You feel me? It's through your culture and through your words.
But what I'm saying is that if they didn't have that, would their influence diminish that great to affect them as a nation?
So
what if they?
By definition, soft power. I'm reading it right now. I mean, soft power is the ability to attract and co-opt rather than coerce. In other words, soft power involves shaping the preferences of others through appeal and attraction. To me, it sounds like Bossy's right though, from that definition, because that's what we do. I mean, I know Nep mentioned when Oprah went to, you say Sweden, Nep, I think.
She was still racially profiled, so I just felt like it said to get people to want the same outcomes you do. They still looked at her negatively, and she can't even shop in peace.
Right, exactly. But my point is that even though people who didn't let Oprah shop in peace, they probably went around the corner and bought a CD from a Swedish rapper. You feel what I'm saying? And that Swedish rapper was influenced by Jay-Z or somebody. You feel me? So what I'm saying is that we do have a form of soft power. We just don't utilize it in a way where it'd be beneficial for us. You feel me? So I believe the discussion should be is, how do we use it to benefit us in a way where that doesn't happen to Oprah Winfrey? You feel me? Because music is not the only thing that we do. You feel me? Like, who's the biggest comedian in the world? Exactly. Who's the biggest comedian in the world right now? Kevin Hart. He could go anywhere and get recognized and get booked.
He ain't funny to me, but
it's like he ain't funny.
I would say Dave Chappelle, but whatever.
No, that's why you're right though.
Exactly. I'm not saying that they're better. I'm not saying he's better than Dave Chappelle. I'm not saying he's better than Cat Williams.
Yeah.
But he is bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? He's Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams are way funnier than Kevin Hart, in my opinion. But
so let's say by definition, we line up as a people, the most influential folks we know from all walks of life. Let's start with a list. I'm gonna do my list, and I'm gonna let y'all do y'all list so we could, see we could rank on a scale of 1 to 10 how much soft power we would have with these people. So I'm gonna start with my list, and I want all y'all to give me a scale of 1 to 10. So let's say I line up Eddie Murphy, Michael Eric Dyson, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Oprah, Jay-Z, and maybe I don't fucking know, Gucci Mane. Just to know that we ain't pussy out here in these streets. These are some, and just to make it fair, either a choice between LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I would
right.
Yeah. That's what I would say. Yeah.
We go that. So now we got the most influential people in music, sports, entertainment, Hollywood. Let's say we throw Will Smith in there. We got those my 8. How strong is my soft power at that point, with those being the leaders of our soft power committee, I guess you could say, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Just by you having Oprah and Obama, your soft power is at 9.5. You feel me? Because those are made those are like Obama, especially because he was a fucking president. He's still admired around the world. You feel me? You feel me? Like he beat out Trump his entire 4 years, except for the last year. Except for this last year, Trump beat him for most admired person. But for 12 years in a row, the most admired person in the world was Obama. You feel me? So just by having him on your team, and if you threw like if you threw Jordan or LeBron, the 2 most recognizable names in sports and all the sports right now, besides Ronaldo and Messi. Besides Ronaldo and Messi, Jordan and LeBron are probably some of the most recognized names in sports. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like just by having those 2 on your team, your soft power is at a 9.
Okay, so taking my names, who would you replace to make it, perfect?
I would replace probably Gucci Mane with Jay-Z.
I had Jay-Z in there.
Yeah, he had Jay-Z.
Oh, you already had? Oh.
Yeah, I had Jay-Z and grew up. I needed a guy that was appealable to everybody and a nigga that people could know, like, yo, it's going down if you try it.
That's
Denzel Washington or Morgan Freeman. I probably would add
Morgan
him.
Freeman.
Replace. Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. I would probably add him. I don't know who to replace with one of those, but yeah,
probably Beyonce.
I would have Beyonce. I would have Beyonce just for the
no,
just for the female influence. But I don't know, man. If you listen to her interview, she don't really be saying much.
No,
she really don't.
Like, soft power though. Beyonce's known worldwide, bro.
True. Give her a script, then give her a script.
Okay, fine. I will. If you want to put in Beyonce, take them all out and give them the safest star that's done 3 things at once. Will Smith. I will have him replace Jay-Z, Beyonce, and any actor you could think of. Because even though you got your Denzels and your Morgan Freemans and shit, Will's done all 3.
Yeah, he has.
Why the fuck not? So I'll take out 3 niggas and put in Will Smith. He's the safest bet. I mean, super safe.
Yeah, Will is the safest bet. I mean, the reason why Will Smith got the lead role in Independence Day is because he wasn't scary to white people, to tell you the truth. A lot of people will tell you that because the big ears and everything like that. He didn't look scary to white people. If Moff was born back then, he wouldn't have gotten that part.
But what you mean? They wanted to give the part to Tom Cruise, who had literally done Mission Impossible the year before.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is why I'm talking about like Jerry Bruckheimer pushed for Will Smith to get that role because he wanted a black lead. So I mean, Jerry Bruckheimer wanted a black lead, but the studio pushed against it because one thing that we have to realize about Hollywood is that Hollywood itself is racist because they believe that America is racist. You feel me? They don't like a lot of black leads like that because they think that Americans won't buy it. Now that was disproven with Black Panther. With Black Panther, that was completely disproven. You know what I mean? But like, still, they believe that America is not ready to see black leads like that.
They don't think it'll sell, basically.
They don't think it'll sell, and not only that, they'll think that the people who spend most on movies, which is white men, don't want to see a person who doesn't look like them in the lead role. And if it's a person that doesn't look like them, that person has to be non-threatening. Yeah, I mean, which is why they had Will Smith, because Will Smith looks non-threatening. He's a
so tell me this: how do you switch from a guy like Will Smith, not to go too far on top? How do you switch to somebody like Will Smith, who ran shit for 10+ summers, to the guy who's definitely more threatening, like The Rock.
Culture shift, and that's but you see that culture shift.
Will Smith pioneered it.
What happened?
You saying Will Smith pioneered non-white men having major lead roles?
Will and Denzel. I would say Will and Denzel.
Oh yeah, definitely Denzel. Yeah,
Will and Denzel.
Denzel played a bunch of threatening. Anyone that would see Will Smith and Denzel walking down the street.
Yeah, I got down. Man, Wesley Snipes, give him credit where it's due.
Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes. I bet Wesley Snipes also.
He just want to throw him in there because he's black. Fuck this nigga.
I guess I don't think we can necessarily say it's because of Will Smith's skin tone then. Because we had Denzel, that's not light skin. Wesley Snipes was the top of the game. That's a dark skinned man. There's a couple other people. I think wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, Samuel Jackson, he was actually going to take the role of Training Day. But I think he took some other movie or something like that.
He passed on it.
I think it's just it's because of that, that show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then his little rapping and stuff. Let's be honest, that was kind of corny.
No, man, if niggas wasn't afraid of LL Cool J, he could have easily been where the fuck Will Smith was.
Easily. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we're during that time, especially in the 90s, for a major summer blockbuster, there were no black leads at all. Even Denzel, even Wesley, even Samuel L. Jackson. For a major
whoa.
There were no black leads.
Okay, so see, when you said blockbusters, I was about to stop you, but you said blockbusters because you gotta remember Denzel been in some very great movies, but they were more critically acclaimed than blockbusters. Because if you want acting, you go get you a Denzel. You just want like shoot him up, bang bang, and stick a nigga with minimum lines and hot one-liners in there. Go get your Will Smith, and that's why I feel like Jamie Foxx, not the sidetrack, might be the most talented black actor of all fucking time because he does everything. He sing, he can rap, he can act. He's believable. Ever since fucking, I'm telling you, when that Mike Tyson movie come out, it's over. It's over.
Yep. They got to give Jimmy his props. I ain't gonna lie about that. But I think the point is why we've seen such a shift and more people of color getting. Well, I hate to say people of color, but we got to use that. But why you see more people of color getting leader roles and getting leads in blockbusters now is because like that culture shift happened. But who was leading that culture? Remember we talked about this during the election period, during the riot at the Capitol. Who's actually leading this culture shift in America? You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, as much as I love my Latino brothers and sisters, y'all not leading this culture shift. The people who are leading this culture shift look like us on this.
This is Brazil. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. The people who's leading this culture shift look like us on this panel. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we have it, but how can we utilize it? That's more my question, because we've seen what the Korean government did. How can we do it? Because we're still looked at.
They do have the backing of the government too, though.
That's the backing of the government. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think so I can answer your question. Then I'll answer your question.
Japan has soft power too with anime and all that.
They do.
I will answer your question. And keeping those examples that you just used in mind, I would make the argument that we cannot, only because with a culture so large and diverse, there's not a single large entity or government that would back it like the others that we named before. The country of Japan will back anime. Korea will back K-pop. You know what I'm saying? Russia will back, its culture and whatnot, so on and so forth. But like black culture is pretty much worldwide. It's too big to try to have something back it when it's already everywhere and can be used by everyone. Our culture, and I think it's the problem we always had. The things that we consider our culture, that are our culture, are so easily accessible and easy to not only use, adapt, copy, whatever, that it's impossible to say we can, whether you want to use the word, control it or weaponize it for influence. How can you do that when someone can easily go, well, we got niggas in fucking Taiwan breakdancing right now.
Yep.
Soft power, what, nigga? Like, we could do what you could do. and we do it more than you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
B-boying ain't hot in the States. That shit is like popular over in the East. They treat that shit like it just got there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
breakdance
niggas
is
don't really
big.
graffiti like that over here in the States. They do that shit over there, tagging up walls and shit, bro. They take that culture and that b-boy scratching, beatbox and shit. They do that in the East. Like they hold on more to the cultures than we care about the shit. And the shit that they have that influences us over there, we care more for, but they have control over.
I think
Like
the
if
only
we
thing
go,
we can do, man, it's like we just have to be the what's the words? We have to kind of be the gatekeepers. And I feel like we're kind of losing our gatekeepers. We have to maintain it in order to control it and kind of contain it. We have to be the gatekeepers of the culture.
but how do you do that with something that everyone loves, bro? Like, here's the thing:
Yeah.
with our culture, everyone loves it, and it's hard to keep control because we, as a people of color, are natural born givers and sharers. It's what the fuck we do. It's in our DNA.
And
Whereas
it's
those
really
other
easy to
cultures,
imitate. I feel like
as for those other cultures, they got shit that's not only not necessarily 100% appealing all the time. Like you got shit that they do that's like, okay, that's cool. K-pop is cool, but everyone doesn't like fucking K-pop. Oh, there are
it's
a lot
because
more
of the
people.
reflection of American music.
There are a lot more people that like rap more than K-pop.
Way more people.
Yep,
So,
and that's because K-pop is literally just our music.
and I feel that, but like,
Which is why they added rappers to K-pop groups right now.
it's almost like
rappers to K-pop groups.
K-pop is almost like when fucking what's that shit called?
Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and NSYNC.
No, not that, bro. I'm thinking of the style of music that has the same beat no matter what song it is. Reggaeton. When reggaeton took off back in the early 2000s, bro. Even though we knew that was our shit, they were able to gatekeep that because it was a largely Caribbean thing. It's not big everywhere, although it might be heard everywhere. It's not big like that. Hip hop is huge, but you will find far more people if you search. I ain't gonna say search hard enough. If you go past a certain age group that don't give a fuck about K-pop. I don't know niggas my age that listen to K-pop like that.
Oh
you
yeah,
might
there's like nobody. Yeah,
you know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know
Like,
any guys that listen to that. It's mostly
like,
girls, the young girls, younger than me.
right, but hip hop, you got people. When I saw Korean trap, bro, I was like, okay,
That
hip
shit
hop
weird.
is here for real. But that's just how it is. But I'm not gonna get no. I might blast some Keith Ape in my whip. I don't know what the fuck them niggas saying. Ichima on the water squat. It's like I don't know what it is, but it's hard as fuck. Arigato, new shoelaces, Air Force One. Okay,
You mean Rich
you got
Chigga?
it, G.
You ever heard of Rich
Nah,
Chigga? He
I
changed
heard
his
of
name to
him.
Rich Brian. I'm glad he changed that name. That was lame, bro. Rich
Yeah, that
Chigga,
was
come
stupid.
on, man.
So it's like knowing that you can enjoy those things, no matter, because like I said, our culture is so accessible and diverse, it can be enjoyed by anyone. It's almost like a muse for everything else that grows from it.
Yep.
And that for that reason alone, we will never be able to have soft power through our culture. That's not the way we can do it. But unfortunately, there's nothing else that we necessarily have that we could even cultivate any type of soft power. The one thing we have, everybody can do.
Yeah,
that's why. At the end of the day, like for example, when we look at K-pop, right?
Okay.
That's something that anybody can do. You feel me? Anybody can form. Yes, bro. Anybody. We can form a band, a boy band right now.
Nigga, Diddy tried that shit twice.
Boys the Men, come on.
Of course.
that's the predecessor to K-pop, man. All those.
I understand what you're talking.
I'm sorry, Diddy. I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're talking about. Like, what I'm saying is that Korea took Diddy's formula and they simply perfected it because a lot of these niggas never even grew up with each other as K-pop groups. They just kind of met each other and the government just kind of put them all together. You feel me? So they basically took his idea and perfected it.
So they're industry plants.
Exactly. Yeah, of course. K-pop is industry.
But nigga, that's an American thing. There are plenty of industry plants even in our world. Like, you think Silento was fucking popular? They found some 15-year-old kid from Atlanta and told him to whip it. He ain't write the song, didn't do none of that shit. He just performed it. Like, he was a plant. You feel me? Like, that was no different, bro. Like, nah, that's not a good example for me.
No, what I'm saying is that Soft power is the definition of soft power is something literally anybody can do. You feel me? Because it's basically using your power of persuasion. You feel me?
So is it something that everybody can do or that everyone will like?
Well, for example, hold
I
on.
think both
This is
yeah.
soft power. Take rap, for example, hip hop.
Okay.
We know
Everybody
we
can
got
rap, bro.
we got American rap. We know that. But if you go to Germany, Korea, wherever you go, Jamaica, wherever you go, there's rappers rapping in their language, but it's a form of some shit that we created. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Look at fashion, the way we dress, the way we sag our pants a little bit, baggy pants, whatever. You look at how the way we dress, then you look at other places. There's like a certain area who want to be like us, Black Americans specifically. Not like Black people, but Black Americans specifically. They dress like us, act like us. When they learn how to talk slang, who they want to talk like? They want to talk like the Black Americans.
Black people.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all like that's all soft power. Like just having that appeal on the whole world is like soft power.
I get that.
Like us. Dress
Exactly.
like us.
What now? What they?
How do we use it?
Exactly.
Now, I'm waiting to hear
It
how we
just
can
to
take
me, I
that
just thought if we
influence
can't
and
use
shit
it,
to.
then is it really power? If we can't
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I'm mad. Like
if so many people can take what we do and modify it to their liking or whatever, and we can't do shit about it, how do you gatekeep something? And again, the fact that there are people of color everywhere makes it impossible because the scale in which we started was impossible to contain, to gatekeep. That's my argument.
Right, because anime, you don't see anime really being imitated too much by other cultures.
Like,
it's
and
like
it ain't
still
even get popular
99% Japanese.
For real, and anime didn't even really get popular till like after 2000, bro. Like it's just getting here popular.
Right.
It's just getting popular. You still got niggas that get clowned on for watching anime.
Oh, you do?
Can anime be considered hard power? Can anime could be considered hard power though?
Nah, it's soft power because like you got people doing cosplay trying to dress up like the Japanese anime characters and stuff like that. I guess I definitely think it's his own culture that people imitate around the world. It's soft power. I say if they would have stopped selling it, or if they would have like completely stopped selling it, that would probably be like a form of hard power, I guess. Let's say they're gonna stop selling anime because this one country pissed me off, so we're gonna stop showing anime shows in your country. I don't know, something like that.
That might be a thing, but you gotta remember, you got companies like Netflix and shit, and other people that are creating their own anime series. Like anime can be copied. It might not be done to the same love and skill as our folks out there in the East, but it can be copied. Whereas other shit might not be able to be. But again, it goes back to my thing. How do you gatekeep something that started off global to begin with?
But
how do you do it?
Right, but here's the thing about soft power. Before we get to the gatekeeping, number one, soft power is not just about the influence. It's also about shaping opinions and shaping values of other folks. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. One thing that hip hop already did is because one of the big philosophies of hip hop. I actually learned this from a philosophy teacher. You know what I'm saying? One of the big philosophies of hip hop is authenticity. We don't like when people are fake.
Right.
So that's one of the big philosophies of hip hop. If you look around the world today, you know what I'm saying? It even influenced the last motherfucking election. Why were so many people, so galvanized around Trump? Because they felt Trump was an authentic person. You know what I'm saying? So that mindset actually leaked out from us. You feel me?
I don't know if that's coincidental. It could be hip hop, but I don't know if that could be coincidental, and just the fact that maybe he came at a time where people are tired of politicians that kind of speak in political jargon, and he just happened to be, a much more understandable person. I mean, that could be due to hip hop, but I mean, I don't know.
You really think the motherfuckers that voted for him like listen to rap and shit? Like, I'm not saying they don't, but like, had that type of influence like that.
I'd say maybe not. I don't know.
No, I don't think they listen to rap. Okay, maybe that was a bad example. Okay, let's not use that. Forget that example. You feel me? What I'm saying is that. Yeah, that was a bad example. I could admit that was a bad example.
My forehead
dark. Trust the boys that listen to rap. I'm pretty sure millions do, but the
What-
older
what-
ones,
what-
Out of
what I'm
80,
saying
out of
is-
80 million people, I'm sure about 40 million listen to rap.
And again, but what I'm saying is like the lifestyle of, but the thing is the hip hop lifestyle teaches you not to trust, oh shit. But here's the thing, the hip hop lifestyle teaches people not to trust politicians or the feds and shit. So imagine those 40 million people still went to the polls and shit out of that 80 million that voted for this nigga. That's counterproductive. I don't get that.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that soft power involves more than just having influence. You feel what I'm saying? It's we influence the world. You feel what I'm saying? We can have that influence, but you also use that influence to basically convince people. You feel me? You basically shape their worldview and shape their preferences of what they'll do. You feel me? And you do that through yourself.
Using that definition, then, what the fuck do we want to shape with our culture, and what do we hope to gain from being able to be, perceived a certain way, or what could our culture get them to change in their own lives for better or worse? Like what have we done with our culture? I asked that question.
One of the big things that I feel that we could work to shape is basically perception. Because remember, one thing that I realize is that it's still a little dangerous for Black folks to travel outside the United States. Even within the United States, it's still a little dangerous for Black folks to travel because we don't know how we're going to be treated at somewhere. You feel me? You won't see that. What are you doing, my nigga?
No, I was trying to see how I looked in the camera. Don't mind me, bro.
I don't think you would see that for Asians. You feel me? Because they already have an image around the world of not being dangerous people, but we still do. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe that if we use more of not just our music, but more of our other media such as film, which is why I don't believe I believe hood movies should be shifting a little bit more away from the violence and more towards actual issues and messages, but not just on music, but through film, but through books, because there's still major readers out there, believe it or not. You feel me? Through animation, you feel me? Because we see how powerful anime is. Through art, things like that can shape more perceptions, and not only shape the perceptions of us as a people, but it can also bring investment to where we are. Because one of the things that I've seen about the soft power K-pop is that, believe it or not, more people are actually more companies actually went to invest in Korea. You feel me? Just off of what K-pop is doing. You feel me?
So,
it wasn't necessarily the music that convinced them, but it was the fact that they were able to export such a popular genre that made them go to the country to see what was going on there and invest.
You know what?
But therein lies my problem. So what aren't we doing with our culture that's widely viewed and accepted to accomplish either of those goals?
I know.
And even if we could, what is our goal?
Nah, it's because, see, the thing is, when we talk about K-pop, anime, it come out of a certain place. You know what I'm saying? Like Korea, K-pop come out of Korea. Koreans own that. Now, when we think about everything that we're doing as Black people, we don't own the place that we live in. White people do, So it's like everything that we do, we're not actually probably getting a profit from it. In fact, the white people are probably getting it. You know what I mean? For example, like all the rap. I mean, who own the biggest labels? White folks do, not Black people. So it's like they're getting all the money for it. You know what I'm saying? Like all the fashion and stuff, the white folks on the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like all that shit is white people shit, and we're the ones sporting and making it famous. You know what I'm saying? But basically, it's not really our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and rap belonged to us, but who owned the labels? White people. So it's kind of like our influence is profitable, but it's going to the wrong people. So,
but then that begs the question to be asked after. So even white folks who are owning, they own the filters through which our culture is distributed to the world. Can we say that? Can we agree on that then?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So if that's the case, why haven't they found a way to use our culture to influence decisions and shit and whatever with soft power. Because apparently, if we can't do it, they ain't doing a better job.
No, they the things about that is that they don't need to. You feel me? Because remember, the government already has hard power. You feel me? So
Okay.
they don't need to use our culture to go ahead and influence things around the world. But what I'm saying is that what like you asked a really good question, because that's actually the question that I was asking when I first got here. You feel me? What can we do to utilize our culture around the world? I mean, one thing that Noir brought up was where is Noir? I'm not sure he is, but yeah, he had to go real quick. But one thing that Noir brought up was to gatekeep the we should be gatekeeping the culture. I'm not sure how to do that myself, to tell you the truth, but I do believe that the conversation needs to at least be had, so we can know exactly what and how to do it. You feel me?
Should we though?
What gatekeep the culture?
The culture. Okay, but then that brings up another issue.
Right?
But here's the thing. That brings up a whole nother issue. If we could gatekeep the culture, what is the culture? That's such a wide fucking spectrum of shit. Which goes back to my original problem. It's too large.
The thing is, I think the culture, I do feel like the culture is so difficult now that it's so gotten out of hand and become, like you said, so large.
It started off that way.
Now. Yeah, like, well, it didn't start off, well, I would say in the 70s.
In
the 70s, it was much easier to gatekeep. Like, and even in the 80s and even into the 90s, like that was exclusively black culture. Shit, even into the early 2000s, that was exclusively ours.
But I'm talking about even before we even got to America, our influence in culture predates the fucking America as a country. We know that. So I'm saying, like, when you have people all over the world with similar cultures, we're on essentially like all the continents, and if we want to be technical, we dominate inhabiting about, at least like 4 or 5 out of the 7. You dig what I'm saying? Australia, Africa, South America, North America, most of the middle fucking East, and if you want to count like, India and whatnot, like we're already there. So the scale started off large before many of these countries were even a thing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
wait, what?
Okay, so when you say that we had a chance to control the culture and gatekeep back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s,
what culture are we referring to? I thought we were just talking about hip hop. Just black culture. I feel like our influence. I feel like our influence kind of started after slavery. If we're just talking about a black America, like America and American blacks, then I think the conversation is a little easier. But because like we can just start from, I guess,
and that's why I said what is the culture? Are we start from a certain time point, or do we mean black culture in general?
In general,
most of the shit we do, because most of the shit we do ain't nothing new under the motherfucking sun. G, we knew that from millennia ago. We know that.
Like capoeira actually came from, I believe, some kind of African fighting style.
Yeah.
So like a Congolese fighting style. But the thing is, he would just say Brazilian, but like specifically, it's actually African.
It's black.
It's black.
You feel me? Right? And that's what I'm saying. So how do you scale? And then by even limiting it down to a certain time frame, even then it's still big as fuck back then. There's no point in time where the black culture, no matter what part you want to pick, was ever small enough to gatekeep. I don't feel like it ever was. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like black culture, no matter which part of it you choose, was ever small enough to gatekeep at any point in time.
I mean, one thing about cultures, is that culture is always gonna have outside influences. Every single culture out there in the world. Every culture out there in the world is going to be adopted by everybody else as well. Because, for example, we've adopted a lot of white culture ourselves. What language are we even speaking right now? We're not speaking the language of our ancestors. We're speaking the language of white people.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Ebonics.
Exactly. No, but Ebonics is our own.
White people have no culture.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I think that's
specifically we took on a European culture. Let's take that. Yeah. You feel me? Specifically, we took on a European culture. We speak a European language. We live in
Christianity.
We practice a European religion mostly. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. So we've taken a lot of their our cultures on our own. So that's going to happen. I don't think there's any way where we can say that, hey, this thing belongs to black people and nobody else. My nigga, what are you doing?
Just keep talking, bro. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, I don't think we can ever get. I don't think we can ever get to a point where we say this is for black people and nobody else could join. But
it's not nature.
That's actually racist.
Exactly.
Just
exactly. It would actually.
That's not even necessary too. That's actually negatively like the point of the soft power is for other people. So yeah.
Exactly. It wouldn't make any sense for us to even do that. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing that we do know for sure is if you were to ask people, about, like, let's say, the scientific method or the idea of universities or English, they're mostly gonna associate those type of things with Europe. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, what I'm coming from is that, how do we get to a point where you associate some things that are positive around the world with, African Americans? Like, there has to be a way to do that, and I feel that one of the best ways is the media, because the media is what caused a negative perception of African Americans around the world. It can also be reversed to cause a positive one.
I'm having an epiphany right now. Having an epiphany, and I'm gonna say this. This might be bold. It might be wrong as fuck. But I feel like the reason why we have no soft power is because the people that enjoy and might be influenced by our culture, however small or broad you want to scale it, have found a way, by whatever means, and that's a whole other discussion that we can have, to separate their love for our culture from the love of the people. And until you can convince them that you got to do both, we'll never have soft power influence.
Like they say, you love black culture, but you don't love black people.
Until you can crack that code, we're fucked.
Because South Korea is actually, look at their shows. It's kind of racist. Like they have like literally sitcoms that are where they make fun of black culture. They're like, "Yo, what's up, nigga?" And they're wearing like a chain and like a cap on their head, like a fitted t-shirts and shit, and like wearing a baseball cap on his head and stuff like that. And basically, he's just trying to portray himself like a black American person, but in
you niggas let John Cena drop a rap album. Fuck y'all.
Like it's just,
and the shit went gold.
Wow. So yeah, we can't. That's what Fed said is really accurate. That's still to me that's a negative perception. That's them mocking us, bro. They're copying the culture and they're mocking us at the same time.
And they found a way to do both. It's almost like niggas that like R. Kelly, but fuck R. Kelly as a person. They like his music. They're doing the same shit to us right now, essentially.
True.
Everybody wants to be black, but nobody wants to be black, in a nutshell. And that's why we don't have soft power. That's my epiphany. It's like, unfortunately, we cannot use our influence to make them love us.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's why I don't believe we have soft power, because I just feel like it hasn't really netted us any positive gains or any positive perception from other people, bro. Like, man.
That goes back to what I said. It's because we don't own our power. The white people do.
Right.
It's like
we don't own it.
when you think about everybody else's power is from their country. Like they own their country. They're majority of that country. Even some soft power that Africans got right now, it's because they're the majority of the country. But Black Americans specifically, we don't got shit because everything we got on the white folks. Even our beauty products, white folks are selling them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
right, or Chinese.
But I feel like who has control over it is like a really weak excuse. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because it does, but
it's kind of poor.
And I get it. It's not irrelevant. I will not say that, because it absolutely plays a role. But it behooved me to think that people haven't been feeling this way about us for centuries. Before they even controlled the shit that we do, they still felt this way. Where they fuck with black culture, but not black people. Before we were enslaved, conquered, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's always been that way. So this is something that's been ingrained for forever. How do you break that cycle? How do we do that?
I'm almost willing to argue. I don't know if our culture has been emulated that long though. Well,
We
actually, let
taught
me
these
change
niggas
that. Let me
math,
change
my
that.
nigga.
It's
Like,
been
come on. Like, we taught them how to bathe, how to
well,
dress.
actually,
Like,
let me
dude.
take that back. They did emulate Egypt and a lot of Egyptian guys. Let me take that back.
Like, bro, no Egyptian empire, no Roman empire. Everyone knows that's facts.
Yeah, let me take that back.
Yeah, I mean,
so again, so it goes back to the problem. How do we make
the
them love
perception
us?
back then was different though. I don't think there was no like completely negative perception of someone just on the basis of being black.
It might have been negative. Okay, no, I can't even. I'm gonna say it's always been
If it
negative
was
because I
negative,
always feel like
it was
think
more
about it.
so about you being an opposition, but not like okay, you're
Right.
inferior from being black. It was just you're opposing to me. You know, let's fight. You know, you have resources.
Right.
You got the
There's
yeah.
so before right now it's negative because of how they feel inferior, even though that's false. But back then there was a negative because of fear of the unknown. You gotta understand,
Right.
these white people came into lands where people were bigger, stronger, naked, fruitful, and it's like, oh shit. They might not harm me, but I am not going to take that chance. That fear has manifested itself into the separation of the soft power we can't even create at this point because they don't love us for whatever reasons they have now, based on the fear they had back then and the influence they stole every day since they encountered us centuries ago. So again, how do you solve that problem?
I got an epiphany.
Well, again, this is what
I got
go ahead.
In order to have solid soft power, you have to also have some hard power to back it up. I think we already kind of spoke on it. Yeah,
Okay.
we did kind of say that. You know, the backing of the government, we do have to have that too. We have to have something to kind of threaten countries with. I feel like countries have to at least respect you, if not fear you first, before that you're able to kind of export your culture. Japan doesn't have a strong military now, but they do have some very strong allies to where they can bolster their military anyway. And then on top of that, to get people to respect them, you know, they make great cars, very reliable cars throughout the 70s and 80s and 2000s. You know, people started respecting them, and they got anime. So they're able to have hard power at the same time. They also have soft power, which came later. So the soft power probably has to come after the hard power is established.
Okay,
I believe that because like show people you ain't pussy, but then show them you're not like out here trying to like bully people and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like America as a country has done that. I'm not gonna say effectively, but still found a way to still put niggas in the back of the line and make us the scariest shit here when we weren't originally here. Like, there's no point in time where we got the long end of the stick, and except when we were fucking home. Like,
no, I feel that.
I don't get it.
No, I feel that. So one thing that I learned in my political science courses is that power respects power. You feel me? And that gave me an epiphany of one of the reasons why black folks are not respected around the world is because we don't have the power. You feel me? Now, I've started to see that change because you know who people have started respecting around the world. Not necessarily Black Americans, but around the world, a lot of the black group that started to get a lot of respect is Nigerians. Because right now they're the most powerful country in Africa. Economically, economically, and I believe militarily, they're the most powerful group in Africa right now. And they predict by about 2030 or 2050, Nigeria will become the first African superpower. They'll have a population of 200 million. They'll have one of the largest militaries in the world. They'll have one of the highest economies in the world. So it's like they're gonna be into the G20 in about 2040 or 2050. So right now Nigerians are getting a lot of respect around the world. Not necessarily all black people, but them in particular. You feel me? So when I don't know who brought it up. You have to have hard power to back up your soft power.
Noir.
That's Noir.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. You feel me? So just like you said, power respects. I mean, just like I said, power respects power. So how exactly do we get that hard power? And I don't.
We gotta start fucking shit up. That's really it, bro. It's like, listen, I'm gonna smack you up a couple of times. Now that we got that established, who you're not gonna fuck with, black people. What do we want? to be left the fuck alone. All right, we cool? And we finna sit the fuck over here in Africa and chill. Y'all need some textiles and clothes and shit? Everybody good? These diamonds are ours. This gold is ours. Leave us the fuck alone and it won't be shit. Everybody good? North America, you straight? Asia, you straight? All right.
We just have to make very allies and build up our economy, build up our African economies and African militaries, and that should be fine. And then that's when the soft power is gonna help influence us into be more to be a more respected country.
The thing is, we most of us live in America right now. Like me, for example, if shit was to go bad in America for black people, I can just go back to Haiti. You niggas gotta go to Canada or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So
right, a country that allies with America, and a lot of the people will probably have the same viewpoints as
exactly.
It's the same shit. We really don't have much, too many places we could go.
Exactly. Which what I'm saying. I would want for hard power to build with African Americans as well. You feel me? Like, because I can go back to Haiti and build that shit up, but
fuck that. Leave Haiti and take the people back to Africa. Anything that has American actors shouldn't even be involved in this shit. Fuck the whole Americas, North and South America. We out this bitch. We're going over here. We're going back here. Plenty of space.
Yeah, we know that's not possible too. But you feel me? As a group of 48 million people, like y'all bigger than some countries. You feel what I'm saying? African Americans are bigger than some countries now. You feel me? So it's like
we were in Liberia, but
exactly.
we fucked that up because we didn't treat the people so well. So
yeah, exactly. So you feel me? Like I do believe there's a way to have hard power. You feel me saying? Like I think that's what the Black Panthers was trying to do, but that's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
Trying to have hard power.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Any takeaways? I'm gonna start with Moff. Moff, takeaways.
Oh well, yeah, I definitely believe we have a lot of soft power, but shit, y'all made some good points tonight. I was just really spectating and listening for the most part. I learned a lot of shit that I don't really feel like talking about and explaining to be tired as hell. But y'all go ahead. I'm about to get off here, man.
For sure, Bossy.
I mean, my takeaway is basically what y'all said. Like, we have the soft power, but we don't have the hard power to back it up. You feel me?
Yeah, to make it effective.
To make it effective. So I believe that the African American population needs to build that hard power. I don't know if they're gonna do it through land or through military force. We may not be able to do it through military force because this is America, but through wealth building, through political building, through like efforts like that. African Americans can have hard power, and that's when you can gatekeep and have the soft power to back it up. That's what I believe.
Well, on my end, I'm gonna say this: a great president, whether you fuck with him or not, once said, "Speak softly and carry a big ass stick." Right now, Black culture as a whole is speaking softly, and we've been speaking softly for fucking ever.
And it's
time to find that big ass stick. And somebody just got to be made an example out of just one time, bro. Just one time. I promise you, things will change because there's no revolution without bloodshed. There's going to be a casualty. Somebody got to get it in order for us to go, look, we ain't want to do this, but we just want to show you at any point in time, we fuck shit up. Until we have that in our hearts and are willing to do it, nothing will change. And our soft power does not exist until we get to the other one.
What about you,
Yep. I agree with both of y'all on that. Yeah, definitely. I think we have potential with our soft power. We have a lot of potential, but without the backing of a strong economy, like since we're in America, there's nothing governmental, but a strong economic base. Then our soft and we're not going to be able to gatekeep our culture, and nobody's going to respect us until then. People imitate us, but they don't actually respect Black people. So or Black, us as Black Americans and whatnot. So we have to build that up in order to utilize our soft power.
Black people, we have not given the cultures around the world a reason to fear us in a very long time. And because of that, that is what essentially made it easy for our culture to be stolen, copied, this, that, and the third. Because we never made them feel like there would be consequences to essentially bootlegging our fucking history.
Facts.
Exactly.
The day we decide to punish niggas for it, we can get that hard power and get our fucking our future back. Straight up. Anyways, this was a great show. This is definitely a great show.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
We gonna see y'all Friday for Ho Chill. Might be performing fly from Miami in this